a lot of the guys that I've had on my podcast are a lot of military guys. And it's almost like there's more connection with real faith with people who are in the military. This is just something that I'm observing. Um, what maybe if you could dive into a little bit of like your journey in the military, what you learned, maybe a story or two, of things that, you're experiencing there, and how that ties in with your faith. Because I think a lot of the things like the discipline of waking up early, right, and doing things that suck, as you had said, right, doing those things that are uncomfortable, really develop character, really develop, I think, faith, right? Because it's like how for you to come up with a reason to do those things that suck, I think is an idea of faith. It's like you're investing in the future of yourself. So maybe if you could talk about that connection. Is there a connection? Did you notice a connection with the military and faith, and speak on that a little bit?
Yeah. So the path for me to the military started because I grew up in church, and I'm speaking directly for me. And I think some of the other guys I've spoken to, they can share the same. Now there are guys that they would not agree with this, but there's two parts about it. One, my faith, I think, is what pushed me to go, you're supposed to give back. You're supposed to have a code. You're supposed to answer a call, right? In church growing up, there was a lot of talk about what your calling is, what God has you here to do. And so that immediately started to ingrain this thought process into me, is like, what am I doing that's bigger than myself? Now, the other side of this, and this is a thing that people can't do anything about. A lot of us that have served, whether it's in the military, whether it's first responders, firefighters, police officers, these people that do these insane things, they run to the disaster instead of run from it. That's just innately a part of you. My youngest son has it, right? I can see it in him. He just, and it's a willingness to go into the dark places where the bad things play, which is a little bit of a lone survivor quote there for you. But it is a willingness to go and live in that for just a bit, to stand next to the fire and be willing to get burnt, that it's just there.